Hi guys, and welcome back to the Wednesday News Show. Matt and Hugo are still missing, but I'm gonna try to do my best, even though last night I didn't really sleep because I shared the midi toilets with 6 other people. Anyway, on today's show, we got Will Bosi climbing a 9A, so much 9B news, and stay tuned for the deal of the week. So let's start with the man of the hour, Will Bosi, because I feel we've been following his progress on Burden of Dreams since the 3D replica has been trying all the way to the live streams underneath the boulder. On the 12th of April, Will Bosi claims the coveted second ascent of Burden of Dreams, 9A/V17. With this historic ascent, he becomes the second climber to solve the world's hardest boulder, established in 2016 by Nalle Hukkataival. Let's hear more from Will Bosi.
Hey, Will Bosi here, just back in Edinburgh now from my trip over to Finland. I went on this trip with basically no expectations of sending. I was expecting just to see the problem, and I was hopeful that I'd be able to do every move individually, but I didn't at all think for a second I was going to be able to send, which completely blew my mind. Basically, I went to just see the moves, try and learn them so I could then come back to the UK, to Sheffield, where we've got the replica with the 3D printed holds, and so that I could then adjust it if I felt any of it needed changing, so that I could then train on that more, so that I could go back for a future trip, maybe end of the year next year, to hopefully send. From trying the replica first and not the boulder, I obviously had no idea actually how it compared, but the replica was actually pretty much spot on. There were a lot of differences, like holds were either a bit worse, bigger or better, going both ways. But basically it was good enough that I think every session on the replica counted for a session on the real boulder. It was like that good training. So I actually turned up to the boulder basically with 10 days already like logged. And my first session completely blew my mind. I did every move in the first session. And then by the second session, I'd done some good links and I actually was like, whoa, I could actually send this boulder this trip. So yeah, that was super confusing and exciting. It was interesting. I struggled a lot with what I expected to, like skin was a major issue because it's a very sharp boulder and you need perfect skin. Like you got like a little cut or like tape in a certain place, it's basically the move gets so much harder. But I think the thing I struggled the most with that really surprised me was just how much you actually have to rest for trying these boulders that are near at your limit. And I guess it made me think maybe it's like, weightlifting where you're trying to go for that 1 rep max. You can't try it multiple times in a day, really, and you can't try it multiple days on. So yeah, I had to take a lot of rest days, which was a bit frustrating because I was just so psyched to be on the boulder and really wanted to keep trying it. And then you'd have to wake up, look at your skin, I don't feel perfect. Let's rest, be sensible and patient. As the days went on and my skin healed after I kind of destroyed it initially in the first couple of days, the session started to get better and better, and I would feel better on each move every day. I was doing really good links, really promising links, and then I had 2 sessions, like separate sessions, where I managed to climb the first part of the boulder and then drop the last move, which is like a big dino. And it's probably like a 1 move 8A boulder, so you need to be feeling strong there and you need to do it well. If you slightly miss a hold, which is super easy to do, then you basically fall off. If you hit the hold right, it actually doesn't feel that bad. But yeah, so I had 2 goes where I'd fallen off, and then I came for the send session. It'd basically been warming up a bit, so we came for a night session, arrived as sun was setting with Sean Rabbit, warmed up on the fingerboard, pulled on, basically do each move 1 time, just so that you kind of remember them, but you don't like tire yourself out. And you're like fully warm, and every move just felt like amazing. I felt really good on it. So yeah, I was going to wait longer for it to get colder, but I was just, because I felt so good and so psyched, I only waited about 10 minutes. I was like, right, shoes on, let's go for it. And then yeah, first go, stuck the first move perfectly, second move perfectly, third perfect, fourth perfect. And because of that, just arrived at the last move feeling super fresh. And yeah, I kind of like in that moment sort of came to it and was like, right, this is the go, I can do this. So just like over gripped as hard as I could and just fully committed for the move. I actually missed the last hold a little, but I had it good enough that I was just able to hold the swing, do the match in and top out the boulder. Felt completely surreal and like for sure probably the highlight of my climbing, I think, so far. It took, counting the replica, 24 sessions. in total, which is by far my longest boulder project, more than double the amount of days I spent on Elfane, Sean's 9A in Switzerland I climbed last year. And because of that and how much work it took just to do the individual moves, I'm 100% confident that it's the hardest boulder I've ever done. And I think Nalle was right to grade it 9A. It's always hard to say, but I do think it is 9A boulder. Massive thanks and well done to Nalle for the vision and the dedication to keep going back and trying this for 4 years, because he's established maybe the best sort of hard boulder in my opinion of just pure power. So it's it's really cool.
Thank you so much, Will, for that interview, and massive congratulations on the send. I thought it was so interesting that he, throughout the process of actually going to Finland, trying this boulder, he really shared with the world all of it, like the live streams underneath. I thought that was a new approach to sending such a hard boulder. Anyway, let's move on to some 9B news from Spain and France. Jonathan Siegrist has climbed Stoking the Fire, a 9B in Santillana. Chris made the first ascent of this line in 2013, 10 years ago, and since then it's been considered a solid 9B. Jonathan tried this route over a period of 6 weeks, and he explains on 8a.nu that it's an intense mental battle, the most intense of my life. The trick was only to keep showing up and trying, even when my ego, confidence, and hope was near to zero. For his 30th birthday, French climber Seb Bouin made the first ascent of Ariégeois-Coeur-Loyal and proposed a grade of 9B. The route is situated in Pic-Saint-Loup in France, and the name actually pays homage to his grandpa, who passed away 5 years ago when he bolted the route. Nice one, guys, on those ascents, and a shameless plug to the Alpine Academy, the Arc'teryx Alpine Academy, because Jonathan Siegrist will be having a workshop. So if you want to improve your sport climbing skills, definitely sign up to this workshop because, he knows what he's talking about. The next news story Matt will absolutely love because it's a 30-year-old climbing a really hard route. 13-year-old David Bermudez Carbonell, who just started climbing less than 3 years ago, has done Potemkin, an 8C+ in Cuenca, Spain. He's only 1.45 meters tall, but he's already done more than 50 routes 8A and harder. With not even 3 years of experience having climbed an 8C+, at 13, it's super, super impressive. But let's move on to the 9A plus roundup. 31-year-old Swiss climber Catherine Chong climbed Les Nerfs à Vifs, an 8C+ in La Verrière in France. She adds this ascent to her impressive list of hard climbs, already having climbed 2 9As and multiple 8B+ multi-pitch climbs. As reported on 8a.nu, Belgian climber Sven Lempereur has climbed Super Craquinet, a 9A+ in Saint-Léger. After a year-long battle, he fell at the last move 35 times. And we've got more news from Santillana, where Mathieu Bouillon has climbed La Novena Enmienda, a 9A/+. He first saw Adam do this route in 2008 and he was quite inspired. So he did the first part in 2010 and the second part in 2022. This route is really cool since it crosses the cave straight down the middle. Cool, that's it for the news. Let's move on to the 9B counter. Jonathan Siegrist, or J-star, gets 3 points for the 9B, and Seb Bouin, even though it's a first ascent, he also gets 3 points on the 9B counter. Right, shop stuff. This week, we've got a super good discount on sand knee pads, and I've got here a couple to show you. And I've been told all of these knee pads have innuendo names. So I'm sure people are gonna have fun in the comments. So this one is the Wizard sleeve, obviously inspired from Dave Graham being the wizard of knee bars, right? It's quite a comfortable knee pad because it doesn't have all these straps to tight and stuff. You just put it on, slip it on. It has a lot of rubber inside. It's nice and sticky. It doesn't move too much. And if it does move, remember, duct tape works for everything. And the other 2 knee pads I want to show you is the Sand Mini Strap-On Slim in Smoke. And I think the smoke is of the color smoke, because I've been using this one, but in light blue, and I gotta say it's quite handy. Like, it's small, it covers the part of the leg I need, and the rubber is not too thick. It's the same thickness as on the sleeve, so you can still feel what you're actually pushing on. And then this big bad boy is called large strap-on, classic. Yeah, just kind of the same thing, just way bigger, with 3 straps at the back, so you can really secure it. And it also has a thicker rubber. So if you knee bar a lot, I definitely recommend this one. If you're just a bigger person than I am, I recommend this one. But they also come in different sizes. And on the website, we have a chart with all the sizes. So check out this amazing discount. This is my favorite one though, so I might just, put it on this side. This week on the EpicTV YouTube channel, we have a video coming out this Thursday, and it's about 7 friends discovering quite a magical valley in Egypt and, doing some climbing. Also, don't forget to subscribe to EpicTV Climbing Daily, which is what you're watching right now, because next week we've got an interview coming with Robbie Phillips and Seb Bouin about their ascents on Le Voyage. Because last week, I know we kind of skipped away on the news real quick because we had these interviews coming in, and the interviews are now in, and we want to put together a nice video for you guys. So that's coming very, very soon, so subscribe. And let's move on to the...
Can we get a drum roll, please?
EpicTV comment of the week? No, that was sucky. Comment of the week. Yes, you're happy that I sung that? I actually have to find a comment though. My comment is from Sarah Sedej. Sedej? It's from Sarah. My comment is from Sarah. And she says, Cedric Lachat definitely deserves a spot in the tennis match. So we got tennis, a match, Cedric, but we're missing a player to, put the voices over him. But I think she references the video that we have on EpicTV France of Cedric describing Pachamama, Papi Chulo, a puppy something. But yes, Flo will be on it and edit something together. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna get myself real comfortable on this crash pad and, sleep.